Welcome everybody to Just One with Core, episode 2. I'm here with Becca, Hilby. I've been trying to do this for the past, 2 weeks?
Yeah, we're really good at scheduling.
Yeah, and I could tell we're about the same exact person when it comes to this. It works and it doesn't. It works and it doesn't. And you're like, I don't know what to do. So we usually have a drink here, but I have a coffee. You have a water. For no exact reason, maybe because she might be carrying a little one. Who knows? But congratulations, by the way.
Thank you. Let's
chat a little. And the majority, I tell everyone this, what this is for is to dive into your story, owning a farm, what has all happened with, Instagram, your social media platform, and kind of how it all became. So I kind of want to start the Instagram, let's talk a little bit about your life.
Well, I was born on a hot summer day in August.
Okay, yep. Start from there, and then let's speed up a little faster.
Okay. So I didn't actually grow up on a farm. I grew up over near Milwaukee. Mm-hmm. My brother and I joined 4-H when we were 9 years old.
I was in 4-H too.
Yeah. And we had a farmer come to one of the meetings once. It was like, if you want to show a cow, come out to the farm. I don't know why we went, but we were like, all right, that sounds cool. So we went. Long story short, my first year was absolutely awful. I had a heifer that was way too big for me, and she stepped on my foot right before I went into the ring, so I cried the whole time.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, it was awful. It was traumatic. But for some reason, the next year, we went back and did it again, and that year I took a little brown Swiss calf, and I just fell in love with it. Okay,
so now do you live, you're just right next to Cincinnati, or in Cincinnati?
Yeah, we live right in front of the mound.
Okay, and how many cattle do you have, or what are we looking at? Tell everybody a little bit about your
Sure.
farm and your business.
Yeah, so I'm actually a dairy farmer by day.
Okay.
On a farm in Platteville.
Mm-hmm.
So we milk 350 cows,
which
is
still
a decent amount, but it's not huge or anything. Mm-hmm. So I've been there for almost 12 years. About 5 years ago, I was able to start my own herd on the farm. So I've actually got cattle there. And then my husband and I live on his grandparents' farm, and we raise brown Swiss steers, and then we also raise Holstein steers. So we usually buy them as babies, or if my cows have bull calves, we'll bring them home. We bottle feed them, and then we raise them up. The steers we sell about 600-700 pounds. They'll get sold to another farmer to finish them out.
So for people that don't know, age, what do we look at?
So the steers when we sell them are probably 6-7 months old.
Okay. Let's say pretty young.
Yeah, and then the brown Swiss we raise till market weight, which is about 1,500 pounds. Mm-hmm. Those are about 16 months old, and then we take them to the butcher and we get meat from them.
Yep. And so, how many do you guys usually a year take on? I'm sure does that number change a lot?
Pre-COVID, we only did a couple a year, just for family and friends, and then last year, I really wanted to start to get into farmers markets because I love.
Oh, for sure.
I don't love people, which sounds terrible. I hate being in new places, but I love connecting with consumers and letting them know where their food comes from.
Absolutely.
So I wanted to do a farmers market. So we got a few more steers to raise, and then COVID hit, and I'm like, we didn't know if we were going to have anywhere to sell them, if they were going to even have the farmers markets. Luckily, we still went to Cuba City. They have one month or 1 week a month. One day a month, and
say a full week farmers market. That would have been cool.
It'd sell out really fast.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, we did that all summer, and it went really well. We kind of accumulated more and more Swiss over the year. So now we've got probably 20. We've got about 15 to go in this year. So we're trying to sell some bulk, and then some we're just getting made into cuts to sell at the farmers market, and hopefully get into some smaller stores and stuff like that. Okay,
so do you guys, when you do your meat and you butcher, do you guys have your own packaging, or
we have our own label? So to get licensed to sell by the cut, you have to have a license for it, and then you have to have a certain label on it that has different things. One of the requirements is that it's done at a USDA locker plant. So we right now take to both Darlington, which is Avon Locker, and Bloomington, Bloomington Meats, and we just work with them. They do a really good job of getting the cuts we want. We get a bunch of snack sticks and summer sausage and stuff that people love. So it's been a learning experience, but it's been fun. Okay, so your Instagram, for one, I just want to say this right off the hoof. I didn't understand that farming was this big. Right? I had no clue. But the moment we followed you and the
you follow, and then like 8 other people show up. And I looked at them, and you guys all have like a massive following. I'm like, oh my God, it's huge. Yeah. Can you like explain, like, when you got on Instagram, did you know that already, or did you kind of just fall into it and be like, oh my gosh?
I've been on Instagram for a long time, like since the beginning. Since I started being educational on posts about like farming and stuff, because a lot of people don't know about farming.
Literally no one. Yeah,
like less than 2% of the population is a farmer these days. So I started sharing about that. That kind of got, I don't know, I got burnt out doing it because I was like continuously trying to educate people, and it got old really fast. When my daughter was born, I think that was kind of a turning point, because I started sharing more just on like family life and what we were up to and stuff like that. So I got actually a more broad audience. Like at first I think I was just kind of talking to other farmers, it seemed like, but once I brought my daughter into it and like other hobbies, then I started getting an audience that weren't farming. And then I would just share, even now I just share my everyday, which I don't always find interesting. But
a lot of people find that like super curious. Like,
like they have no idea.
Especially like the past 2 weeks when it's been freezing cold, and you like are expressing in your stories, you know, I'm out here, we're working, you know, and people like look at that and they're sitting in their apartment or wherever. And I think they find that super interesting. You know, we're different here because like in these smaller towns, we all know what farming is. You can go as far back on anybody's generations. We all come from farmers. And I think that like we know more, but like especially like Instagram, you know, the majority of people that like follow are, you know, usually people from like in the city, or, you know, like even as you get like closer to Madison, those types of like that type of demographic, and they just have no idea. And I think they find it super interesting to see where like their meat comes from and stuff like that. And then like what all the work you have to do on a day to day.
It's like the little things too, that sometimes I'll do a story that it doesn't even make sense to me, but other people are like, oh my gosh. Like, so it's not even the like common sense things that you think you're telling people. I mean, they find it astounding. They don't know. Oh,
and there's probably some people that are in the exact same situation, like, you know, where they're farmers as well. And they're like, oh my gosh, I just had that happen to me a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, that's the other part of it. I've met so many other awesome farmers on Instagram. And when you're having a bad day, or like you have a problem and you don't know, you can go to that person or that group of people and be like, all right, does anyone have advice for me right now? Because I could use it. And they're there for you.
Or, I mean, on the other side, they could be having a bad day too. Even worse.
Yeah.
I mean, that's something that I've always thought is like, as bad as days you could be having, there's usually someone who's having a worse day.
Definitely.
So let's talk, I mean, a little bit about your day-to-day at Weigel Farms. What does like your day-to-day look like?
So I am mostly in charge of the calves. I milk 1 day a week when we like dry up cows and stuff, but most of the time I'm feeding calves in the morning. And then after that, it's anything from moving calves or bedding calves.
Literally anything.
Vaccinating. I mean, yeah, literally anything.
Just depends the time, the season. Okay.
Yep. So like the past 2 weeks, we've been in survival mode. It's like feed the calves, make sure they're bedded, make sure they're healthy, and then go get warm.
Yeah. Is there like other struggles that like you see farms having? I mean, either when it comes to dairy, finding places for the milk, or demand, supply, things like that. Is there anything else that like is like a struggle in the winter?
I think the weather is probably the biggest struggle, just to make sure like everyone is staying healthy and stuff. And I think the biggest annoyance in the winter is frozen drinkers. Okay. Other than that, the cows actually, they prefer cold weather. They do really well in it. The calves do pretty well as long as they're taken care of. So like when they're born, we get them dry right away so that they don't get frostbitten. And then they've got jackets and lots of straw and stuff. So as long as they're taken care of well, they manage just fine. For sure.
So all your pictures, are you taking most of them at your at home, like with your steers? Or are they like at work?
Most of them are at work. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So like when did you? Because I noticed a lot of Instagram posts that do like super well are like it's just literally a cow. Yeah. And that's it.
Yeah. Sometimes the captions
are amazing, by the way.
Yeah. Thanks.
But
like sometimes you can like try so hard on a caption, but if you don't have the right photo, people aren't going to stop to look at it, which is frustrating sometimes because it's like,
oh, it sucks.
I tried so hard on this.
And like on a way different spectrum, even like the things we post, like you know, like you get a lot of good views and likes, like with these videos. I just posted a picture of literally the centerpiece of our storefront, and that's probably gonna get the most likes we've had in like 2 weeks.
I don't
so like, and it has nothing in
algorithm.
it, but it's that somehow intrigues someone's eye, which is wild. Or like a picture of Emma or Tia in like a 608 t-shirt. That's it.
Yeah.
Like what bumps in the road on Instagram has there been like figuring that out?
With the vegans and stuff, they sometimes blow up my posts, which
Oh
I don't
God.
think that they realize, like they're just boosting my engagement and then I'm getting more reach from it. But I block and delete all of them. I don't tolerate it. And for the most part, I post what I want when I want. I go through lulls. Like the past couple of weeks, I haven't posted much just because I haven't felt like it.
No,
and I'm sure that slows growth down and stuff. But at the end of the day, that's not exactly why I'm doing it. So I'm just gonna keep.
Let's talk vegans. So like if they like blow up your post, like what do they say?
They call us rapists, murderers.
Oh, the whole nine, the whole 9 yards.
They're awful. And Facebook and Instagram don't do anything about it.
Do they understand that how many people in America eat meat? Do they understand there's other things to do in your day other than? Can you imagine being like?
I picture them in their parents' basement, just on the computer. Like that's how I picture them because they have way too much time on their hands.
I'm like, okay, you could be vegan. I'm completely fine with it, but don't hate on people that love meat or love you know the process of meat.
And we have so many choices. Like I don't think people realize how many food choices that we have and how lucky we are to have that. And it's like not everyone needs to eat like you. If you don't like it, just be like, all right, okay, I'll move
Exactly.
on. Like I'm not going on their post and be like, oh, you plant murderer, like you shouldn't be eating all those plants. And I'm like,
yeah, right, exactly. And like exactly, it goes two ways. You know, I remember even when I was younger, with my dad's company cleaning meat plants, and I would like to think at a very young age I saw a lot of things in those plants that a lot of younger kids wouldn't.
Yeah,
a lot, very gory, but like even the stuff that they had, like people always outside the building, like calling the people who just clean the plants, like calling them murderers. And they're like, hey, just listen here. I'm not doing anything. I'm just cleaning up. But I find it wild that they like spend time in their actual day to like, you know, be mean to other people. I don't understand it.
And they'll plan attacks and stuff. Like they've got their little Facebook groups. A few weeks ago, they actually released the location of a farmer in California and encouraged people to go to their dairy farm. And I don't know what.
I would love to see them try to do that in Wisconsin.
Right?
Yeah.
Got lots of guns in Wisconsin. But
yeah.
I don't know. I guess I've never really seen people in like Wisconsin get to that level. I'm sure in Madison there's protests and stuff.
No, that's wild. And we like. Even doesn't matter what profession you're in, like obviously vegan, like that thing's like on steroids because of usually the people they are. But like even on our post, people are like, "Oh, you're just 608. You guys don't represent all of Wisconsin," stuff like that. And it's like, okay, well or the hometown T-shirt. I've never seen a T-shirt give us more grief.
Really?
Because people are like, "Can I have my hometown?" I've never even heard of the hometown. It's in 608. It might be unincorporated like Keeler. And they're like, oh, well, you don't represent 608 if you don't have our shirt. I'm like, well, we have a budget. And T-shirts cost money. So, but like people just, they heckle me like crazy.
I don't think people, they just have too much time on their hands.
Okay. So.
They need to eat a Snickers.
Yeah. Right. So you've been at Weigel for a while, but like, do you have any like futuristic plans, like you and your husband, you know, with getting more steers, more meat, selling more beef? And I know you kind of a little bit touched it being stores. Like, do you guys ever like think about having your own package and like at local stores, stuff like that?
I think it would be awesome to have like a farm store someday, just to have like a nice little setup so that people could come, you know, see the animals firsthand and stuff.
Oh, for sure.
Which I guess next best thing is I'm sharing pictures of them, but that would be really cool. We've always wanted to be able to bring my milk cows home and milk them, but the dairy industry is not the greatest, so
no,
it'd be a big gamble.
Especially for like the smaller you are, the way worse it is.
And it sucks because, I mean, big dairies are fine, like they get run fine, but that's what the consumer wants is like a small little dairy that they can like just go visit and stuff. So it'd be really cool to do that someday, but if not, I'm happy with where I am too. So.
Where do you see that? Like, do you see like Wisconsin? Do you see like farms getting bought out? Do you see smaller farms making it, you know, through especially not only COVID, but like as I feel like as years keep progressing, it's harder and harder for smaller farms to make it.
For those that sell locally, I think that's going to stay good. I mean, when Corona hit, everyone wanted to support their local farmer, and everyone wanted to get local meat because, well, one, the grocery stores were empty and those large packing plants shut down. But I think now that people are kind of aboard that train, they're going to stay aboard the train.
Oh, for sure. I've seen, and we've pushed it 1,000 times, tenfold, but where everything should be local. And I completely believe that without them, what would our towns be? You know what I mean? Especially like Keeler or Cincinnati, where half the land is farms.
Yeah, people are doing what they have to do, but I think diversifying is kind of the way to go. A lot of people are selling their own beef or doing like cut flowers, just little things, hobbies that they can get a paycheck from. For
sure. So you have a podcast. Can you explain a little bit? It's you and Amber. She runs, was it Cranberry Chats?
Yes.
Did I say that right?
Yes.
Okay. It's a run on words. I usually would mess that up. And you guys run, can you talk a little bit like what you guys talk about?
Sure.
And the name, plug it. What's the name?
It's Forward Farming Podcast.
Okay. So, and the Instagram is at Forward Farming Podcast.
Yes.
Perfect.
And then we're on Facebook too.
Okay.
But we started.
They're on Facebook too. Okay. Remember that.
We started last summer, I think July, we released our first episode. Amber had messaged me, I don't know, a few months before that and was like, hey, I kind of want to start a podcast. Like, do you want to do it with me? And at first I was like, why are you asking me? Like, I don't know how to talk that long. I
think you're doing a very good job.
Thanks. I just get nervous and I talk really fast. But I said yes, and I don't know, like a month went by and we're like, all right, let's just record this. And the first couple episodes were pretty miserable. Like we're a hot mess. We go by the hashtag bless this mess and we live up to it. Yeah,
for sure.
But we've had a lot of fun. We've had a lot of good feedback on it. We talk about cranberry farming. She's a cranberry grower up north. And I mean, there's a lot you don't know about cranberry.
Oh my gosh.
I didn't know anything.
I just started following her this year, and that is super interesting.
I didn't know anything about it until I started following her. Then we talk about dairy farming and just farming in general. A lot of just real life, day-to-day
bullshit that you guys go through.
Yeah. I mean, it's not always educational, but it's almost always relatable, which
well,
is
at the same point, like podcasts, I mean, educational is great, but you need to have the raw part of it. You know what I mean?
We always start our podcast with like highs and lows of the week, and that usually like takes up half the podcast.
Oh my gosh, you haven't even started the podcast really, but you're like a half hour in.
Yeah, but it's fun just to like take an hour out of the week and just talk with her. And that was one thing I was kind of nervous about because I had talked to her on Instagram, but I'd never like been on the phone with her or talked to like face to face. So I'm like, what if we don't communicate well or something?
Yeah.
But
you have to try it though.
Yeah, we've had a lot of fun. We've become really close friends, and
that's so cool. Yeah, that's so cool. So, do you guys release weekly?
We try to. Yeah, we took a couple weeks off over the holidays and stuff.
Yeah,
and then
for sure.
Later this summer, after I have a baby, and she's also pregnant, so she's having a baby like a month after me. I don't know how that's going to go yet, but
literally I asked you to be on this, and then I'm like, oh, I might as well ask Amber. And she's like, yeah, I'm pregnant, so I'm not going to be able to drink. I'm like, Jesus, am I going to be able to find someone that could have a beer with me?
You could have had a beer.
I know, but it's I want everyone to know it's 2:30 in the afternoon. My wife's behind us looking at the audio. It's
also Wisconsin.
It is. It 100% is. I mean, at 5 o'clock, I'm going to call in to have a supper club meal and maybe an old fashioned.
Yeah. It's like the perfect day drinking weather as well.
This is, yeah. I almost think like the miserable weather is really day drinking weather for me because I can't do anything.
I guess.
But like for you, it's not because you got to go make sure nothing's going wrong, right?
I mean, I would have still drank. But
yeah. So like what's your drink of choice usually?
If I just have like a mix or something, I love SoCo.
Okay.
And like Mountain Dew usually.
Oh, okay.
Otherwise, I'm a big Twisted Tea fan.
Ooh, okay. Cool. I don't stray far from Busch Light, like ever.
I mean, Busch Light is like one of those things that's always in the fridge, but
for sure.
I don't mind beer, but it's like not my first choice.
Yeah, I understand that. So let's chat a little bit about your website. Plug it. We'll throw it somewhere on the screen, I'm sure.
Yeah, we're at hilbyfamilyfarm.com.
Okay.
When I made the site probably like a year ago, I was going to become a blogger. That was my goal. I think I did 2 blogs last April, and then that was the end of that. But I do have like our contact information, what we sell, like the different cuts and stuff that we have. So,
and you have inventory.
We do.
Like, do you have it on there, like where they could buy, or they just got to call?
You got to call yet. I'm not that sophisticated yet.
I get it. That's tough.
Yeah, I would like to. And I looked at like a couple places that do it for you, but it's a lot of money, and I don't know if I can justify it yet. But I do have like a list of things that are available. So
if you ever want to start an online store, I am a good person to get a hold of, because I've done it with like 4 different platforms.
And I would love to like ship and stuff too, but shipping meat it's
well, yeah,
it's a whole different
the packaging.
ballgame.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I ship clothes. That's super easy.
Yeah, throw it in a bag.
And I still fuck it up sometimes.
Maybe somewhere down the line, but otherwise we're just doing local for right now. And
okay, so
up to that.
if I got it correct, your kind of goals that you have in your head is possibly getting more cattle, being able to have more meat eventually, and be able to either have your own store where people can come buy meat, see your cattle, what have you, take pictures, or even be in other local stores. Correct?
Yeah, we probably won't get too many more at once just because of our facilities. They don't exactly allow like too many at once, but we definitely want to keep raising as many as we can and turn them all over to beef. And then, selling, I mean, we sell from our farm already, but just to have like a nice little store, like to sell other items or, cheese and stuff like that would be kind of cool. But we actually, last year we sold some beef sticks at Lucky Cow Coffee and Gelato.
Oh, yeah.
In Darlington. And so once I get a chance, we're going to restock them. And so they'll be there. And then I've got a couple other places that we've been talking to just get some like sticks in and stuff like that.
Can we get sticks at the Keeler Mall?
Sure.
We'd love it. Because I don't know if you've noticed, but if you drink a lot of beer, sticks sound amazing.
I mean, they're always sound amazing.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, where I guarantee I know at least 5 people that will be there in 20 minutes. In about 2 hours fast, if they wanted a full stack sticks, they take them.
Yeah, let's make that happen.
Yeah, I know. I'd love to. We should definitely set it up. So before we go, is there anything else that you want to chat about? Like anything that you have planned on social media, or anything that you, that you want to do on social media, or things you want to do less? Is there?
Not too much. I'm not much of a planner. You probably have figured this out by now. But I do want to thank you for having me on. And I just think everything that you guys are doing to like support local small businesses lately is really awesome.
I appreciate that. I think it all goes around. That's what we're from these Cincinnati, from Keeler, from Darlington, from all these towns, is we take care of each other. And that's the main goal. When you first got here and you're like, oh, I got a gift. I got meat for you guys. I have a gift for you.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, I have it right here. I'm going to show everybody.
Oh, cute.
Oh, I grabbed 2 of them on accident. So.
That's adorable.
Yes. So this is for you. I got yellow because I didn't know pink. I didn't know the sex. So I thought yellow would be the best color I can do. So that is for you. Congrats again.
Thank you.
And we'll obviously, I told Deed this and Homebox, we'll be following you. We'll be commenting the crap out on your stuff. But you probably won't even see us because you have like 40 other people that are either commenting really, really nice stuff or apparently really mean stuff.
Yeah, they'll just get blocked.
Maybe I'll reply to them. I'll be like, hey, get the hell out of here. Positive vibes only.
They'll come for you.
Which is fine. Clothes aren't made out of animals, so what are they going to say to me?
They'll find something.
Yeah, I'm sure they will. Because I'm sure you could even probably look on this. It was made like probably in a sweat house in China.
They'll say you're promoting cheese right now.
What the hell is wrong with that? Do vegans not eat cheese?
No, cheese is a dairy product.
What?
Vegans are under the assumption.
Why am I under the assumption that they just don't eat meat? They don't eat cheese?
They don't eat dairy. They don't eat eggs. They don't eat... and then they don't...
I get eggs.
They don't use a lot of products because there's like animal byproducts in them. I'm sure they use a lot not knowing that there's animal byproducts in them, but...
I did not know that. cheese. I mean, I couldn't. I might have cheese curds tonight. Who knows? So again, thank you so much. And I hope you have a blessed week. And for everyone who watched this, please subscribe. We have people lined up. Leah Linscheid, she's going to be coming on March 6th. Pat Gilles, I say his last name wrong 1,000 times. He's from Madison. He's going to be joining us as well. We have a couple people lined up. Hopefully they all work out. So I hope you guys liked episode 2. Like it, comment, and we'll talk to you guys later.